Get started, one reason why we're very dependent upon our AV guys, and they're really good, is because we do tape these programs. Because Cindy asked us to, because she's in Florida all winter, and that has been a real blessing that we had that, because now when people want to see one of the previous programs, they can watch it on YouTube. So my name is Martha Renfro, and I'm the director of our Lost Skills program here at the church. A lot of other people helping us out with it, and I just really, really appreciate them. So we're going to, tonight, we've had all kinds of different topics that we've done with Lost Skills. We've done pantry management, gardening, canning, pressure canning. We've done car maintenance, and we have one of those coming up again. So anybody who wants to know more about car maintenance, that's coming up the 23rd of June, I believe it is. So, the whole thing, Lost Skills, is we wanted to serve our community. We wanted to be able to help people be more independent, and so that's why we're doing it. Now, this afternoon's program is on healthy eating, cooking demonstrations. This is in preparation for 2 weeks from today. We're going to be doing an exercise program, and my daughter's doing that. She'll be kind of heading that up to help people know how to be active in their daily life, So one thing I'd like to do is start with prayer, because that helps me to think more clearly and present better. Dear Father in heaven, we thank you so much for your blessings and for all that you've done for us. Lord, thank you for the food you've provided for us, and I just ask that we will be able to learn how to prepare it more healthfully. Bless us and help me to speak clearly, and so thoughts are clear enough for people to understand. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Okay, so we're going to be doing, you probably got the recipes, and we're going to be starting off with Esau's pottage. I really tried to do things that were things that you could use, recipes you could use every day, and all week long, or, during the week, or any time like that. So what we're going to start with the Esau's pottage. I am doing it in an Instant Pot. You do not have to have an Instant Pot for this. In fact, only very recently have I done it in the Instant Pot, and that was because my uncle said, well, I was teaching him how to make it, and he said, well, why can't we do it in the Instant Pot? I said, well, I've never done it, but let's try. But the reason I'm doing it in the Instant Pot tonight is just because then we don't have to, we can kind of set it aside and not worry about it. But we start out with, I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and I don't know, you don't need quite that much. But we put a lot of onion, I probably put a little bit more, but we put a lot of onion in it. This is sort of a Middle Eastern dish. You've heard of, I think, zidra or something like that. It's something like that. Anyway, so I am sauteing onions in, and it's a lot of onion. And you can put more onion or less onion or whatever. And if you like mushrooms, you can put mushrooms in them. I do have mushrooms. Anybody against mushrooms? No. Nope? Okay. So we'll put these, I'm not going to use this whole thing though, of mushrooms in here. And we are sauteing this. I'm going to let it go for a little bit. But you don't have to saute it a whole lot because, especially in the Instant Pot, if you're doing it at home, you might want to. In fact, I think the recipe says to saute the onions and the mushrooms separately and then add them after you've already started the lentils. It doesn't matter with the Instant Pot, and even at home, it wouldn't matter too much. You know, the onions, they're soft but really nice. And so what we do is we put, if you have a pan, you're going to want to put a little bit of, change your recipe a little bit. On the Esau's pottage, put 5 cups of water. 5 cups does a little bit better. It makes it so it's just not quite as dry. And so that the lentils and the rice get really nice and done. The other thing, I didn't put the mushrooms in there. So you might want to put, a half cup to a cup of mushrooms, whatever you like, okay? So you can put those in there. And once we get this sauteed just a little bit, I'm just gonna get it going. And then I'll put the rest of it in.
The onions smell good already.
They do, don't they? They really do. And I think I was having a hard time this morning trying to figure out how many people were going to be here and how much I really should make. Should I make 1 recipe or 2 recipe or recipe and a half? And I think I'm going to cut it back down to the 1 recipe because this is going to be plenty. My measuring spoons.
They're right there under the lid.
Oh, thank you. No, measuring cups, that's what I wanted.
1 cup, half cup, what do you want?
That'll be good. Okay. So I'm going to just go ahead and get started with the rest of it. I'm not going to put quite all the lentils in here because this is almost 1.5 recipes. So this is the way I cook sometimes. And the rice, I'm going to take some of that out because I think we're going to have too much. Sorry, like I said, I was like, what do I do? How many people will be there? This is dry lentils, but we just washed them.
You wash them 3 times.
Okay, yeah. We just washed them to make sure that they were nice and... Okay. So I'll put that in, and then I'm going to put I have 4 cups here, and just to measure, I use this. I'm going to be talking about these super cubes a little bit later, because what I'm trying to do also, besides just talking about vegetarian cooking, is quick ways of doing things, different little hacks that I've come up with to make sure that we're doing, that I can. Okay, and then, I need salt. And I need 2 teaspoons of salt. It seems like a little much, but it's not. Okay. And I'm going to turn this off. And then I'm going to, and I'm sorry, this isn't mine, this is my daughter's. I'm borrowing manual. And we're going to do 25 minutes. Sealing. So we have it on seal. And I'm going to go ahead and Donna, or if somebody can move this over, we may have to restart it. Okay. Donna will show you where to put it. Okay, so that is the Esau's pottage. That won't take very long. That'll be 25 minutes. So you can see how quickly you can make that dish. Yes. I don't think it would take, I don't know, the carrots might take a little bit more time. If you want a lentil stew, then you could do the stew. This is more like a Esau's pottage, yeah. Uh-huh.
What did you have that set on?
Manual, just push manual and it should be fine. Because it's 25 minutes. Yeah, right there. Okay. No, it starts on its own. Okay. Now I need that large kettle. Okay, we're going to start with the burgers. And the reason we're going to start with the burgers is because then they can be baking in the oven. And the burgers are, it's a really, really good recipe. I've had many people telling me how good the burgers are. So we're going to start. And by the way, some of you who have been from this church before, Esther Lucas, came up with this recipe. I need the blender. Oh, is she using the blender? We'll get started with the other stuff until she's, okay. Okay, I need 4 cups of water. 4.5, really. Okay? And is the blender available? Okay. Sorry, I guess we aren't quite as professional as we try to be. Okay. So, we are going to use a can of beets for this. It kind of gives it the pinkish flavor or darker color. And so we just put the beets right in here carefully.
Here's your 4.5.
Okay, thank you. And we will blend these really quick. And everything's going to really pretty much go in this pot. So I'm going to try to get all this stuff, this goodness out of here by putting water in. Gets most of our goodness out. Okay, and you guys will want to wash that out for the next, another recipe. Okay, not right away. Okay, so we're going to turn this on and try to get this going while we add all the other stuff. So we have 15, the beets, and we have the water in there, and we're going to use, I should have opened this before. Oh, good, it's open. We're going to use 3/4 cup of, and I shouldn't use this one. That's okay. Of Bragg's liquid aminos. This is kind of like soy sauce, but it's a little different. It's more of a natural, not the fermented soy. And so that gives a lot of flavor to it. We'll use 1/3 cup of olive oil. And it's kind of nice to have the oil in this because you will see this cup in a little bit again. And the oil helps it. We form our patties with that. And then a little bit of honey, which we forgot our honey today. I'll put just a little bit of this sugar in, not much. Okay. And dry minced onion. This gives it a lot of really good flavor. And, sage. Not going to use quite all of that. And the food yeast. Have you heard of nutritional yeast? Okay. I think I had added extra in there too of that. And then onion powder and garlic powder are my tablespoons. Oh well, that's okay. Thank you for helping me keep track of them. Okay, so this takes a tablespoon of onion powder and garlic powder. And then this is supposed to be brought to a boil, which hopefully it'll come to a boil quickly. Try and I put too much garlic in here.
Oh, you can never have too much garlic.
Good. Oh dear. Didn't have to tell me twice. Okay. Now this is going to come to a boil. I need a spoon, please. And then we will add the oatmeal and the flaxseed. Now, what I did is ahead of time I ground my flaxseed, okay? So I ground that ahead of time, and then I also will have pecan meal to go in with the oatmeal. Okay, and this is gonna take me just a bit, I guess.
Is that just ground up pecans, or is it a special blend of something?
Usually you can buy pecan meal. It is ground up, just ground up pecans. Usually it's supposed to be a little less expensive than, you know, pecan halves are most expensive, and then pieces, you know, are a little less expensive. And it used to be that pecan meal was pretty cheap. Well, not quite as much anymore. Like everything else, everything's gone up. It's just been horrendous. So let me see how this is going to go. I should have had that going ahead of time. Okay, so thank you. We're going to, if I had another bowl, girls, oh, boy. Here, wash those for me.
What do you need?
I just dumped them on the floor, so if you could wash those for me.
This?
These,
Yeah.
uh-huh. And I need a paper towel. And I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use this for to mix up my oatmeal and stuff, okay? It won't matter, it had onions in it, right? Okay, thank you. Not yet. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mix up my pecan meal and oatmeal, at least what I can in here. So we are ready. And then what I wanted to show you, and I don't need quite all of this either in it. What I wanted to show you, what I will be showing you, is how to form these patties. I found a really good way quite a few years ago. A lady was showing how to make burgers, and she made the prettiest burgers with an easy method. So we're gonna do 4.5 cups of this, I think. 2, 3. Yep, 4.5 cups. Okay, so this will be ready to go. I'll just mix it up with this a little bit. Do we have a spoon, big spoon for, oh, you got it, yeah, I got it. Yep. Just use this. Okay, so we don't have to cook the oatmeal very long. I mean, I hardly even cook it. I just let it sit for a little bit. And, okay, thank you. I would have been better off doing this first and then the other one. We could have done two things at the same time. But anyway. Okay, this is just about boiling. I'm just wondering, no, it's not. Can you guys put this on the stove over there on a high? I think it'll do better. This thing just isn't quite hot enough. Okay, I'm going to, while they're doing that, I think I'm going to move on to I'm going to move on to the mayonnaise recipe. That one right there. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll get the other one.
Okay. Well, no, just stick it here, because can you take this? Be careful and just hold it right down here and just take that somewhere.
Put the my little finger. There you go.
Okay. I need the blender. Okay, so we're going to, while that is heating up, it's on high, correct, ladies? Yes. Okay. While that is heating up, we are going to go to the simple mayonnaise. That's on page 2 of your thing. And we are going to start, this is a mayonnaise that is really pretty good, and I like it. And it doesn't have all the fats and stuff like that, you know, that other mayonnaise has. So we use the Morinu silken tofu, and it's the soft one. But don't be worried if you can't find soft. Use even the firm will work. You know, it does work. And then 1 cup of raw cashews. And what I did is I washed them a little earlier. I like to wash the cashews, and so they look wet.
Now, what's the point of washing them?
Washing them, when they come from, they're imported from other countries. And there's just all kinds of stuff. And there's some other, I can't remember the.
It's hot. The juice around them is hot.
Yeah. Have you ever seen how a cashew grows? It's weird. They call it the devil's fruit. And, you know, some of them are red or some of them are yellow. We grew up in Puerto Rico, and they had the yellow ones. And it's a nice big tree, kind of like an apple tree or something, a low apple tree. And the fruit is about that big, depending on the variety. And the seed, the nut, is on the outside. It comes down, and they call it the devil's fruit because he tried to make a fruit. Legend says he tried to make a fruit, and he forgot to put the seed in it, so he put it on the outside. It's boiling? Okay, great. So that's boiling. Go ahead and bring it. Do you have a hot pad you can put it on? We'll get that started so that. Here. I'll put one here. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. We're going to go back and forth here just a little bit. Okay. So this is boiling. I knew that would happen a whole lot faster there. And we are going to go ahead and stir in this oatmeal, and so that it's nice. We want to make sure we don't have any lumps or anything, but of course it doesn't lump too much if you give it a good stir. We're going to let it set just about 5 minutes here so that it will get thicker, and then we're going to need the cookie sheets. Okay, this can be taken away now. What? Oh, I use quick oats on this one. I've tried it with the rolled oats. They break apart easier. And the quick oats, it just works better. Now, if you only have rolled oats, stick it in the food processor or something, just to break it up a little bit. So that's going to stiffen up here a little bit. Okay, so anyway, the cashew, the cashew is in a shell or whatever, and it has a real acidy substance around it, and they have to boil it in a great big cauldron. And, you don't want to do it in your house because it is very kind of toxic almost. And so, like I said, where they process all these just isn't all that clean of a place. And you can wash off some of that. Some people want to, there's some kind of a substance, I can't remember, do you remember what is on cashews? And then they like to soak them. And with most nuts, they like to soak them before they use it because it neutralizes that. I don't really do that much with that, but I at least like to wash them. Okay, so we have our tofu, and we're back to the mayonnaise. The tofu and the cashews, a 1/4 cup of lemon juice, and here's one of my hacks. Instead of having to use lemons, have lemons on hand all the time and whatever, I juice the lemons and put them in the freezer. And when I need lemon juice, this is a 2 tablespoon ice cube. So a 1/4 cup is 4 tablespoons. So there we go. Easy enough, huh? I didn't lock it. But this is how I do them. I use these super cubes. They're called super cubes, and this one is the 2 ounce for ice cubes, And this one that I had here was 4 1-cup things. And that's like if you have soup or anything like that left over, you can put them in that, freeze it, and then pop them out when they're frozen, put them in Ziploc bags. A gallon Ziploc bag will hold a bunch of these. Online, it's SOUPER cubes. Okay. And I really like them. There's a 2-cup one. So, a lot of times with some of our soups, my husband and I, eat 2 cups of the soup, So I have 2-cup things, and I take them out and put them in big Ziploc bags, the gallons, and then I have them in a bin in the. Okay, so let's finish this up. I need 2 teaspoons of salt. Oh, this was where some of that honey went. So unfortunately, we don't have honey, but that was the sugar that goes. And 2 teaspoons of salt. My salt was right there. Oh, yeah, I knew I put it right here so that I would have it. I'm going scant on that. And then a teaspoon of onion powder. Thank you. Yep. Okay. We will go ahead and get this started. Hopefully that lemon juice will just grind up and Donna, the cookie sheets. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. That is good. And this will be our mayonnaise for a little later on. Now, to make our little burgers, all we do is just take and smash this so it's full, and then take it like that. Of course, remember it had a little bit of olive oil in it. That helps, you know. But I'm going to spray the bottom because I'm going to use the bottom now. And get this out of our way. Just like that. And it holds together really nice, and it forms just the right size burger. So this is one of my most fun things to do and they turn out really perfect almost every time. Of course, you know, when you bake them, they're going to get a little bit smaller. So just to get more on the thing, I kind of alternate them so I can put them pretty close. And then after just a bit, it's starting to stick a little bit. So then you gotta do a little spray. So, are you girls,
I'm ready to take them.
okay, you see how I'm doing them?
Yes.
Okay,
I observed.
very good. Okay. And go ahead and put one in the oven.
The oven's on.
Great. Okay. So that is the burgers. And after 15 minutes, they need to be turned over. And then bake them the other side for 15 minutes. And that's pretty easy. Now it makes 22 to 24 burgers. Okay? And something like that. And they freeze wonderfully. And when you take them out of the freezer, you just put them in a pan, a skillet, you know, and then just warm them up. And they're very, very easy to do.
Bake them at 350?
350. Did I not put that on there? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. 350 for 15 minutes, and then 15 minutes on the other side. Okay? So the other thing we're going to be doing is we are going to do sunny sunflower waffles. And Mother, can you take that dressing out of there? And I need the blender again. The blender, I need the blender. Put it in that bowl.
It is in the bowl.
Okay.
I just gotta.
Oh, I see. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we are going to go with the waffles in just a minute here. And I think, I'm trying to figure out, being there's just fewer of us except for our, what we're trying to tape. We're also going to be making a blueberry fruit topping. And that is really, really good on the waffles. Okay. Thank you.
And here's the little.
And can you get me another kettle from down there that will hold about 6 cups? Okay. So we're going to be doing our waffles.
You want an actual pot that holds 6 cups?
Just one that approximately, just grab me a kettle.
Unless you get a right big one, this is the biggest one.
That's fine, that's fine. And David, I'm sorry, I'm keeping you busy, aren't I? On that camera. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to be making our waffles here. These waffles are really, really good too. We use them all the time at home. One thing that we're going to do it the long way, but this is my short way of making waffles. I take that recipe and I measure, I put like nine bags out or whatever, depending on how often I use it, And I put 1.5 cups of oatmeal in it, in all of them. And then I put 1/4 cup of uncooked millet in each of them. And I just go down there, all the dry ingredients I put in here. So when I want to go to make waffles, I grab this, I put 2 cups of water in my blender, and and the thing is, right above my blender, I have, on the inside of my cupboard, I have a little sticky note that says 2 cups of water, tablespoon of oil, a teaspoon of vanilla, a teaspoon of sugar, of honey, And I just put that stuff in there, and I'm done. So it makes it really easy. So I need 2 cups of water, please. And I need a little teaspoon of sugar, I guess, too. Good enough. Okay. I always like to put the water in first because then the dry stuff doesn't get stuck on the bottom of it, And I'm not going to do that. That's so easy to do it, but I'm going to do it the long way. So I'm going to put in 1.5 cups of rolled oats. And I'm going to put 1/4 cup of uncooked millet. Now, millet is kind of, it gives more fiber, and that's one thing about these waffles. They're really pretty high in fiber, Rolled oats, you can use rolled oats because we're grinding them, The millet, sometimes they'll give it a little bit of a crunch, And then we'll have 2 tablespoons of a vegan protein powder. Some people use soybean powder, and that's harder to find, and it's soy product. What I used this time was Besan, B-E-S-A-N, which is a garbanzo flour. Okay, so I just used a garbanzo flour. I've also in the past I've had a pea protein, that you can put in shakes and stuff like that, and it was just sitting there and wasn't using it. I'm going, okay, I used that in it. Okay, just anything like that, a protein thing. And then one thing that I think I forgot in here, somehow I must have missed putting it in, was a 1/4 teaspoon of sunflower seeds. So you want to put that on your thing. I'm sorry, I missed that. A quarter cup sunflower seeds. Okay. And another thing that I use instead of sunflower seeds, the pepita seeds, pumpkin seeds. I've used those sometimes instead of the sunflower seeds. Pumpkin seeds are really good for men's health, for prostate health and stuff like that. So Yes.
But the sunflower seeds have a lot of zinc in them, which helps your immune system.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and 2 tablespoons of finely shredded unsweetened coconut. Okay. And then a half teaspoon of salt. That's at the end. But that would be all of your dry ingredients. Okay? And then you have a tablespoon of canola oil and this is how I measure, okay? And a teaspoon of vanilla.
Oh, the sugar is.
Okay. And that's it. The sugar was for the honey. Okay. What?
She asked about sugar as opposed to honey.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're not. A lot of people try to get away from the refined sugar.
Absolutely.
And that's what, I try to do too, I really try. But I missed the honey today. Doesn't take too long. And then you put this in the waffle irons. I'm not gonna, I don't know. I'm not going to do that. We have waffles already made. I'm not gonna do that right this minute. But what you want to do is you want to fill it just as full as you can, almost to running over. Because then it doesn't have all the baking powder and all that kind of stuff, to make it raise. But it fills it if you make sure you have it pretty full, okay? We were doing Belgian waffles versus the thin ones. In my family, we all like thin ones. And I go and I look at, you can't find them, but go to Goodwill and you can find them. And I bought for my nieces and, everybody. So that is the waffles. And then we're going to we're going to start with the syrup. I think what I'm going to do with the syrup, what we're going to do is we're going to start here. We're going to put it on the stove over there, and then we'll go from there. We'll bring it back after we got it good and cooking. Richard, would you just stick this right up on the counter? Thank you. Okay, let me get the blueberries out of the freezer.
And Martha's doing that, if I can give you a little, this mixture for the hamburgers, I think it'll be great sneezing on pita. I just tasted it right out of the, it's delicious even without putting it in the oven.
Yeah. Okay. So, these are a couple more hacks I'll show you in a minute. So for our blueberry sauce, or fruit sauce. We're gonna do blueberries, but you can do any kind, all kinds of fruit, and it tells you on this recipe. We are going to use 4 cups of frozen blueberries, and then we'll use a can of apple juice concentrate. This is going to be our sugar, our sweetener. And then just 1 cup of water. Can you get me? Lisa will help you. This is going to be a little bit full, but I think it'll work. And so what we will have them do is we will have them go ahead and put this on the burner and bring this,
Let me put this down.
yeah.
Ooh, that looks delicious.
It's just this is.
So,
Okay.
yeah,
Have
just
it?
bring it to a boil. Just to a boil, and then we'll take it back, okay? So, some of the things, what we're going to do is that they're going to bring that to a boil, and that is to be able to, and then when they bring it back, then we'll put the cornstarch, we'll dissolve cornstarch in some cold water, and we'll put that in, okay? Now, some of the other things that I've come up with, how many of you, anytime you're doing a recipe that takes tomato paste, does it take the whole can? No. Never, ever. So it really bothered me because, of course, I just take the can and stick it in a Ziploc sandwich bag, stick it in the refrigerator for when? How long? Forget it's there. Exactly. So finally, I took one of these Rubbermaid containers, and I would take what was left of it and kind of take it out and put it in little blobs in that little thing and put it in the freezer. So if I needed a tablespoon or whatever, and then I just, knock it off and put it in. Well, then I started using the larger cans of tomato paste. I could save a few pennies or, a little money that way. So I used the larger ones, and it made it more easier to put it in ice cube trays. And then I have a big bag of ice cube trays of tomato paste, and each of these it's a generous tablespoon, Doesn't matter, you can use a little extra. And that works out really well. So I'm constantly going to my freezer for my little, ice cubes. Lemon, tomato paste, whatever. Okay. One other thing is when something needs ginger in it, what do? Ginger is hard to a certain extent, it's hard to keep. Sometimes it'll sprout on me, or sometimes it'll, go bad on me. You don't use it very often, but when you want ginger, you want some ginger. So my sister told me this one, and I didn't bring a big piece, but, and also grating ginger is kind of hard because if you're grating it on a regular grater, it's fibrous and stuff like that. But if you use a microplane grater, and some people use this for garlic even. My mother uses it for garlic because the garlic presses are too hard for her to use. So just use, and it's very, very sharp, okay? And they use it for garlic. But I use it for ginger, and this is a frozen piece of ginger. And you just, and you have your ginger. And so I always have ginger, big pieces of ginger. I can keep it for a long time in the freezer that way. So just another hack. Let's see. So I did tell you about the super cubes. Oh, I made a dressing for the salad that we're going to have today, and it called for a half cup of pineapple juice. And I've gotten pineapple juice in the past. You know, you have to get the big things or whatever. So what I did was I got a big thing of pineapple juice, and I froze it in these half cup things and put them in Ziploc bags, had them in my freezer, marked pineapple juice, you know, and then anytime I make it, it's not all the time, it's from time to time. Run and get half cup of pineapple juice and stick it in, okay? So they have the half cup, full cup, 2 cup, and they're really nice. It is a little bit of a investment, but you know what? These are 4 years old or whatever. They do. And supposedly, I haven't tried it. I've been too chicken. You can bake banana bread in it. And the nice thing is that it has this metal around the top of it that holds it. Did you have a question?
What are they made of?
It's silicone. Uh-huh. Bake and freeze. Mm-hmm. And they're easy to get out. You know, you just a little water on them and push them out, and they really hold up. So it's online. It's Super Cubes, S-O-U, like soup, S-O-U-P-E-R, cubes. And then, like I said, they're a little bit of an investment, but they really hold up for me.
You save more money when you reserve?
Yes. So, okay, how's our blueberries doing?
They're not boiling yet, but they're heating up.
I know they were frozen, so it's going to take just a little bit longer.
You mix them up really good, so.
Yeah. Okay, what I do need is, where did my cornstarch go? Was it on one of those trays? In a blue thing? Yep. And I'll need a little bit of water too.
How much money you give me the cup?
Well,
How much do you want?
you know, just give me that.
Okay.
Yeah,
And this is
and that.
all.
Mhm. And a spoon,
And a spoon.
a small spoon.
Small spoon.
Okay, so you all know, not telling anybody anything new, that you always put cornstarch, you dissolve it in cold water. And so, like the directions say in the recipe, you put, you don't have to use this whole amount, but you know, you just, as it's boiling, then you just put in enough of this to make it as thick as you want it. So we're just getting this ready for, once that's done, then we're really going to be ready. Okay. As soon as that's ready, then we're ready. Does anybody have any questions on what we've been doing so far? Okay. With our burgers, we're going to be serving them we have some tomato slices, some lettuce slices, and we have a zucchini relish that I made and canned, and some ketchup that I made and canned. And, one thing we can also show, I love to garden. I love to eat as much out of my garden as possible, you know. And what we did for today is we made a salad out of kale, some little baby kale that's just coming up, you know, and spinach that it's growing really nice and big, and some lettuce from my sister's and my mother's garden. So, but there's some surprises in it too. I had asparagus coming up. So I took a little bit of that and chopped that up in it, and then edible flowers. So you'll see some of those in those. Okay, how are we doing, ladies, on the...
We're getting them out of the oven now.
Oh, the burgers?
Ready, guys.
Okay. Very good. Sorry, there's a little bit of
It's her staff.
time on. For us, it's not as bad, but for the people online, you know, there's more time left.
Martha, when you add the sunflower seeds for a waffle mix, they don't have to be ground up first?
No, because you're blending it all in the blender.
That makes it fine enough.
Yeah.
You don't have pieces.
Yep.
Could you check the burgers for us? We're a little concerned.
Okay. Have they been flipped?
They've been
Yes.
flipped once, but they seem kind
They
of
both
soft.
got flipped.
They're what?
They seem kind of soft.
Soft? Okay.
They both got flipped. This is boiling. Turn it off.
Yeah, they do seem just a little bit soft.
I did
So-
exactly what you said.
Okay, good. I'll take that. Watch out. Do I have a thing over there? No, I don't.
Does she have, I got it.
Okay. We're trying to get the burgers a little bit. They just seem like they haven't quite gotten done enough. Need a spoon here. And I want to thank these ladies who are helping me over here. They know what they're doing. I don't have to be real. Okay. So I'm just going to put a little bit at a time here. You would normally leave it on the stove while you're doing this, but it's going to be okay this way. You're not going to want to cook it much longer anyway. So just put just a tiny bit in. Okay. So that's as easy as the fruit sauce is. And you can do it with any kind of fruit. And the apple juice, or if you can find white grape juice, that's really hard to find in concentrate now. But it's more of a neutral flavor. It goes with everything, you know, with most of the fruits, okay? So we're going to go ahead and, how about should we start with the waffles?
They're getting ready right now.
Okay.
Yes. think the hamburgers might be ready to serve before the waffles.
Oh, the hamburgers will be ready first? Okay. Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and end this for the live stream. And one thing that you want to remember, you can watch this on the YouTube, on your little flyers. It tells how to get the half flyer in your, it tells how to get to it. If you just Google Lost Skills Edwardsburg, it puts you to that. It says Edwardsburg SDA Church. You click on that and it goes right to the Lost Skills part of it. So then you can see the menu and watch it over again. Okay, thank you very much for attending. And